Greetings, my name is Madame Chendia Julien, and in today's lesson, we'll be talking on the topic bracing yourself for literature at the GCE Ordinary Level Examination. Bracing yourself for literature at the GCE Ordinary Level Examination. So, if you are a student who succeeded in Form 4 and you are entering Form 5 this September, these are some of the things that you should know if you want to succeed in literature at the GCE Ordinary Level Examination. Firstly, the GC Ordinary Level Examination for literature will be comprised of two papers. Paper 1, which is multiple choice questions. You'll be asked 50 questions coming from the 4 texts that you have to treat. And paper 2, where you'll be asked 8 questions and you are required to answer 1 question from each text. Now, paper 1 is 40% of the examination, while paper 2 is 60% of the examination. So that already tells you that you need to focus there. All right, we have 3 genres in literature: drama, prose, and poetry. And for drama, you have 1 text that you're going to treat, which is Macbeth by William Shakespeare. While with prose, there are 2 texts. You have Lord of the Flies by William Golding and The Crown of Thorns by Linus Tongo Asson. While with poetry, you have 18 selected poems coming from Modern Anthology of Poetry by Hans Bokwe Itwe. So these are the 4 texts. I believe in Form 4 you should have treated 2, while you will treat 2 in Form 5. All right, so now how are questions set at the GCE? If you may have looked at a past GCE question, you are going to have a better understanding of some of the things I'm going to say right now. So in drama, you have 2 questions, and these questions are extracts. They are context questions. You will have an extra coming from any scene randomly. You don't know the scene that is going to come, so the examiners will just go to a scene, pick out a conversation between 2 or more characters, usually 2 characters, and then they code the names of these characters, speaker A, speaker B, and you'll be expected to answer questions like, who are the speakers, where are they? You will be expected to give the meaning of some difficult words or expressions that have been used in the extract, identify some literary devices, and even the character traits of some of the characters that are present in the extract, as well as giving an account of the events that took place before the extract or after the extract. So that is it for drama. With poetry, it is somewhat similar to drama because you also have 2 questions. One of them is an essay question where you'll be asked to give a detailed account of a poem, and the other is an extract also, where a poem that has 6 stanzas, for instance, you can have 2 stanzas that are taken out, and then you'll be asked questions on those 2 stanzas. You need to know the name of the poem, the name of the poet, the title of the poem, and then the meaning of some difficult words or expressions found in the extract, identify literary devices, and the like. With prose, you have 2 texts, Lord of the Flies and The Crown of Thorns. So this way in which questions are set in both texts is similar. There are 4 ways in which questions can come. With the first way, you'll be asked to identify and explain the character traits and the roles played by a major character. With Lord of the Flies, for instance, the protagonist is Ralph. So you can have a question like, identify or state and explain 5 character traits of Ralph and 5 aspects of the role he plays in the story. With The Crown of Thorns, you can have the antagonist, who is the DO. You can have a question like, state and explain 5 character traits of the DO, 5 aspects of the role he plays in the story. So that's the first way that questions can come, character traits and role played. The second way in which questions can come is on literary devices. And it is not just common literary devices in the story that you will find, but rather it is those striking literary devices. For instance, in The Crown of Thorns, the epistolary device is recurrently used, and it's very, very significant. It plays a major role. So you can have a question like, identify 3 instances of the epistolary device in The Crown of Thorns and explain them and how they contribute to the development of the story. So that is how, and the second way in which questions can come. They pick a striking literary device that has been used in the story, and you'll be asked to identify about 3 instances where that device is used. The third way that questions can come is Happy and sad events. You can be asked to identify three happy events in the story and what makes them happy and how they contribute to the development of the plot, or three sad events. And the final way in which questions can come is you can be asked to give a detailed account of an event that took place in the story. So, for instance, you can be asked to give a detailed account of the death or the assassination of the DO in The Crown of Thorns. You could be asked to give a detailed account of the first meeting that the boys had on the island in Lord of the Flies. Now, I'm going to end this lesson for today with a few success tips. So if you plan to succeed, and not just to succeed casually, but to succeed in flying colors at the GC ordinary level examination in literature, these are the things you must do. One, get your text. Buy your text as soon as possible. Don't wait till school begins to buy your text. Two, don't buy them and keep at home. Start reading. Read. Three, make sure you jot any questions that you may have in the course of you reading. Four, make sure that when school begins, you pay attention in class during the lessons. Listen when the teacher is teaching attentively. Five, in case you have any worry or anything that you didn't understand, ensure that you ask questions. Ask questions. Somebody once said that when you ask questions, it's like you drawing water out of a well. Fresh water gurges out. New knowledge comes in when you make room for it. So make sure you ask questions. The sixth thing you should do is do all of your assignments and then make sure that you submit them to your teacher so that they can be corrected and you get that positive feedback and you can learn and improve. And lastly, ensure that you revise using past GC questions and mock questions. I highly recommend the Northwest mock and the Southwest mock. So thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.